Okay, let's close from early Buddhist books and selections from Hindu scriptures, not Hindu scriptures, Buddhist scriptures, and the Buddhists in the Viking Portable World Library, edited by Robert O. Ballou. A Sermon to the Monks. Now, one can be completely religious without being a professional or a monk, but here goes. This was said by the Exalted One, said by the Arahant. So I have heard, monks, I am your surety, for not returning to birth do you give up lust, ill will, delusion, wrath, spite, pride. I am your surety for not returning. Monks, the man who does not understand and comprehend the all, who has not detached his mind therefrom, who has not abandoned the all, can make no growth in extinguishing all ill. But monks, he who does understand and comprehend the all, who has detached his mind therefrom, who has abandoned the all, he makes growth and extinguishing ill. Monks, for the monk who is a learner not yet come to mastery of mind, who dwells aspiring for peace from the bond, making it a matter of concerning what is outside the self, I see no other single factor so helpful as friendship with the lovely. Monks, one who is a friend of the lovely abandons the unprofitable and makes the profitable to become. Here, monks, I discern a certain person with mind at peace to be such, because I compass his thoughts with my mind, and if at this moment this person were to make an end, he would be put just so into the heaven world, according to his deserts. What is the reason for that? His mind at peace. Indeed, it is because of a mind at peace, monks, that in this way certain beings, when the body breaks up after death, arise again in the happy born in the heaven world. Monks, if beings knew, as I know, the ripening of sharing gifts, they would not enjoy their use without sharing them, nor would the taint of stinginess obsess the heart and stay there. Even if it were their last bite, their last morsel of food, they would not enjoy its use without sharing it, if there were any one to receive it. But inasmuch, monks, as beings do not know, as I know, the ripening of sharing gifts, therefore they enjoy their use without sharing them, and the taint of stinginess obsess their heart, and stays there. Monks, whatsoever grounds there be for good works undertaken with a view to rebirth, all of them are not worth 1/16th part of that goodwill which the heart's release. Goodwill alone, which is the heart's release, shines and burns and flashes forth in surprising them. Just as, monks, the radiance of all the starry bodies is not worth 1/16th part of the moon's radiance, but the moon's radiance shines and burns and flashes forth in surprising them, even so, monks, goodwill flashes forth in surprising good works, undertaken with a view to rebirth. Well, being born again in life, you can be born again in life without reincarnation. Monks, 2 Dhamma teachings of the wayfarer Arahant, a rightly awakened one, take place after the other. What 2? Look at evil as evil is the first Dharma teaching. Seeing evil as evil, to be disgusted therewith, to be cleansed of it, be freed of it, is the second Dhamma teaching. Monks, ignorance leads the way to the attainment of unprofitable things. Shamelessness and disregard of blame follow after. But monks, knowledge leads to the way of the attainment of the profitable things. Shrieking and fear of blame follow after. Monks, there are these 2 conditions of nirvana. What 2? The condition of nirvana with the basis still remaining, and that without basis. Of what sort, monks, is the condition of nirvana which has the basis still remaining? Here in monks, a monk is a Arahant, one who has destroyed the cankers, one who has lived the life, done what is to be done, laid down the burden, won the goal, worn out the fetter of becoming, one released by perfect knowledge. In him the 5 sense faculties still remain, through which, as they have not yet departed, he experiences sensations pleasant and unpleasant, undergoes pleasure and pain. In him the end of lust, malice, and delusion. Monks, he is called the condition of nirvana, with the basis of still remaining. And of what sort, monks, is the condition of nirvana that is without basis? Herein a monk is an Arahant, released by perfect knowledge, but in him this way in this very life, all things that are sensed have no delight for him. They have become cool. This is called the condition of nirvana without basis. So, monks, these are the two conditions of nirvana. Monks, do you have delight in solitary communing? Delighted by solitary communing, given to mental calm in the inner self, not neglecting musing, possessed of insight, do you foster resort to empty places? One of two fruits is to be looked for in those who do these things, namely gnosis, in this very life, or, if there be still a basis, not return to this world. Monks, there's these three persons found existing in the world. What three? The one who is like a drought, one who reigns locally, and one who pours down everywhere. And how, monks, is a person like a drought? Herein, monks, a certain person is not a giver to all alike, no giver of food and drink, clothing and vehicle, flowers, scents, and unguents, bed, lodging, and light to recluses and brahmanas, to wretched and needy beggars. In this way, monks, a person is like a drought. And how, monks, is a person like a local rainfall? In this case, a person is a giver to some, but others he gives not, be they recluses and brahmanas, are wretched, needy beggars. He is no giver of food and drink, lodging, and lights. In this way, a person is like a local rainfall. How, monks, does a person rain down everywhere? In this case, a certain person gives to all, be they recluses and brahmanas, are wretched, needy beggars. He is a giver of food and drink, lodgings and lights. In this way, a person rains down everywhere. So these are three sorts of persons found existing in the world. Monks, even if a monk should seize the hem of my garment and walk behind me step by step, yet if he be covetousness in his desires, fierce in his longing, malevolent of heart, of mind corrupt, careless and unrestrained, not quieted but scatterbrained, and uncontrolled in sense, that monk is far from me, and I am far from him. What is the cause of that, monks? That monk sees not Dhamma. Sing Dhamma, he sees not me. Monks, even though a monk should dwell 100 yojanas away, if he be not covetous in his desires, not fierce in his longing, not malevolent of heart, not of mind corrupt, but with mindfulness set up and composed, calmed, one-pointed in mind and restrained in sense, then indeed he is nigh unto me, and I am nigh unto him. What is the cause of that, monks? That monk sees Dhamma. Sing Dhamma, he sees me. Monks, there are these two gifts, the carnal and the spiritual. Of these two gifts, the spiritual is the preeminent. Monks, there are these two sharings together, the sharing of the carnal and the sharing of the spiritual. These two sharings together, sharing the spiritual is preeminent. Monks, they are these two acts of kindness, the carnal and the spiritual. Of these two acts of kindness, the spiritual is preeminent. Monks, I am Brahmana, one to acts favor of, ever clean-handed, wearing of my last body, incomparable physician, surgeon, ye are my own true sons, born of my mouth, born of Dhamma, created by Dhamma, my spiritual errors, not carnal errors. Monks, do you live perfect in virtue? Do you live in the performance of obligations, restrained with the restraint of the obligations, perfect in the practice of right behavior, seeing danger in the slightest faults? Undertake and train yourselves in the training of the precepts, for him who so lives, so restrains. Who undertakes the training of the precepts, what else remains to be done?